We're going to wire up the back of the control plate now. So like before, we had the two switches in place, we have the connector block and the battery connector. You'll notice the only thing that's slightly different from last time is I've got these two short pieces of wire here and here which are connected to one terminal of each switch. All I did was I took a short piece of single wire, I've stripped the ends and tinned it, just like we did on the wiring harness those 7 times, and then I've soldered it into place on the contact. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the black wire, that's the negative as we know, and I'm going to put that into one of the terminal blocks. It doesn't matter at this stage which one it is, just put it into a contact. You'll need for this a small flat bladed screwdriver like I have here, which is used to open and close those screws. So I'm using that to tighten the screw down onto the bare metal end of the wire. And you can see there, give it a gentle tug just to make sure it's in the right, that it's not going to pop out. What I'm now going to do is take your wiring harness. So if you remember, the wiring harness that's going into the control plate is the one that has the double wire and the 2 single wires. Okay, that's the end that you need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the double wire, and that is going to be connected to the negative lead that I've just put into the connector block. So open it up on the other side, take that double wire and put it into the connector. And we screw it down. Okay. Again, check it. So you can see there that the black wire is in line with the double wire. They are connected together with that connector block. What we're now going to do is we're going to take the red wire from the battery connector, and that's going to go into one of the other 2 terminals. So open it up, put that in, and again screw it down. Okay. These 2 wires from the switch now have to be connected to that red wire. So they can either go in this side, there, or this wire, for example. You might find it easier to actually put it in next to the red wire itself. It doesn't matter as long as it's on, or as long as it's connected to that red wire somehow. So I'm going to open that one up a bit more. So this switch I'm going to put into here. This one I'm going to try and get it in next to the red wire. Okay, so you can clearly see there, black wire connected to the double wire, the 2 switches connected to the red wire. What we now need to do, you'll notice that on your wiring harness you've got 2 connections still to sort out. And if you look carefully, you'll see that on each switch there's a contact here and a contact here which have nothing connected to them. So one of the wiring harness single wires goes to one switch and the other one goes to the other side. Again, at this stage it doesn't matter which is which, you just need to put them in. So to do that, this is the same technique as I used to put these short wires in earlier. We've tinned the wires, so we go put them through the hole, just double it back on itself just to make a little loop, And then we're going to take a soldering iron and some solder, and if you remember from before, it's really important we tin the iron. So we just put a bit of solder onto the end, wipe it on the sponge, and it's nice and clean. Now just heat it for 5 seconds. So put the soldering iron on there, let the join area get hot for about 5 seconds, then put the solder on, and that should join them up together nicely. Tin again, remember tin every single time. I have to actually remember to put the wire in, that always helps. So through the hole, just loop it back on itself. Heat for 5 seconds and apply the solder. So that is the wiring harness and the switches and the battery all connected. So just to recap, the black wire is connected to the double wire of the wiring harness. One contact of the switch is connected to the red positive wire, and the single lines from the wiring harness go to each switch as well. Good luck.